Will the Bengals end the playoff drought on Saturday night against the Las Vegas Raiders? Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien with allbengals.com, and man, oh man, is it almost here. Playoff time in the Natty, in the Queen City, and I'm excited. I know you're excited. I can tell. I've read a lot of your comments this week, and look, this game is going to come down to a few things. And by the way, if you're new, hit that subscribe button and welcome back if you've been here. It's going to come down to a few things. I'm going to give you some keys, and then I'm going to give you my prediction. A quick reminder, Friday night, Holy Grail. Join us if you want to win one of these. Plus, we'll have some gift cards and some other stuff to give away starting at 7 o'clock on Joe Nuxall Way, Holy Grail downtown. I want to meet each and every one of you. We'll do a little Q&A if you guys want to do that as well. You can ask me questions in person, of course, and win some cool swag as we celebrate the Bengals making a playoff run for the first time since 2015. But let's dive in. Keys. You've heard all week about Yannick Ngakoue and Maxx Crosby, and Maxx Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue, and that's been a thing, right? That's been a topic. You've heard it here. You've heard it elsewhere. And I could beat that again. Obviously, the Bengals have to keep Joe Burrow upright. You know how they could do that? By getting off to a hot start, by dictating the pace, by getting up early, getting a lead early. Because if they do that and they get off to a hot start, key number one, hot start, then it's going to do a few things. One, it is going to let them neutralize or dictate what they're doing on offense. They're not going to have to drop back 50 times necessarily if they're up 14-0 or 10-0 and they get off to the start that they certainly want to get off to. Instead, it's the other way. You can run Joe Mixon. You can be balanced. You don't have to force the ball downfield. Joe Burrow can be patient, and it makes it a little easier to contain those studs on the edge of the Raiders. The other thing is the anxiety. And I get it. You guys have come at me a lot this week. Stop mentioning the drought. Stop doing it. Don't bring that negative energy in. Can you imagine if the Raiders get off to an early lead? What that stadium is going to feel? And I don't know if Joe Burrow necessarily feels it, but some of those Bengals players will. And it won't be a here we go again. I don't think that at all, because there was only 4 players that were on that 2015 team. And one was on the practice squad that are on this current roster. Trey Hopkins was on the practice squad. Then it's Clark Harris, Kevin Huber, CJ Uzama, who was a rookie. I mean, I don't think that's going to be it. But players can feel that, the anxiety from the crowd. So that's certainly part of it. And then outside of a hot start, a couple things. Obviously, you got to protect Joe Burrow. But on the flip side, get after Derek Carr. Hit him. Get him flustered, right? And it is easier. Of the 2 quarterbacks, which one gets flustered more when they're hit? No doubt about it, it's Derek Carr. So if you want to force turnovers, that's how you're going to do it. On the flip side, the Raiders, they've struggled to force turnovers this year. I think they have 6 interceptions this year. So Joe Burrow should be able to hold on to the ball, contain the ball, protect the ball, rather, not contain. And if he can do that, then this offense should be able to move the ball. Burrow's so good against defenses he's seen once before. Well, he's seen this defense before. He's gone up against Gus Bradley before. And they were able to get the dam to break at the end of that first matchup against the Raiders on November 21st. I don't think this game is going to be a blowout, but the Bengals can certainly use that to their advantage. Joe Burrow can certainly use that to his advantage, and they're healthy, and that's a huge part of it. Now, do I want to see Isaiah Prince get some help against Maxx Crosby? Abso-freaking-lutely. I want to see that. Definitely get him some help. Make sure, and I honestly, I think we'll see some 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 running back at times. And look, this is the time, if you're Zach Taylor, to show that you can protect Burrow. Because if you can do that this week, then these other weeks, these teams, whoever you advance to play, they're not going to think that they can get pressure on Joe Burrow with just 4 guys, regardless of who it is. And so they're going to bring pressure. Well, guess what? You want them to bring pressure. You want defenses. You want Gus Bradley to blitz, even though he's not known for it, and he probably won't do it much on Saturday because of how good Joe Burrow is against the blitz. So that's part of it as well. On defense, outside of putting heat on Derek Carr, they need to slow down Josh Jacobs. The last thing you want is for the Raiders to be hanging around or take the lead just because of the run game. You do not want that offensive line that really isn't good, right? I mean, it's pretty comparable to the Bengals offensive line. They have Colton Miller, former first rounder, right? Who's pretty good at tackle. Outside of that, it's like, unproven Leatherwood and guys like that. It's like, man, they have a shot here to get some heat on Carr and slow down the run game. And if you do both of those things, yeah, Darren Waller could make some plays. Hunter Renfro's a beast. At the same time, you should be able to contain this offense. And that's a huge, huge part of it. I mean, you just look at the Raiders are 10-7. They've been outscored by 60-plus points this year. They don't force a lot of turnovers. One key on defense, Derek Carr seems to be like the best quarterback in the NFL at drawing pass interference penalties. And what he'll do is he'll throw it up, and the receiver, it's behind the receiver. And the receiver has to slow down and come back to it. And usually that's when these cornerbacks get called for interference because it's a contested catch situation and you kind of leave it up to the official. The Bengals can't do that. They have to be disciplined. Chidobe Awuzie, Eli Apple, obviously Mike Hilton, and anybody in between. Trey Waynes, any cornerback that's out there, any safety, you have to be disciplined because that's how they've gotten a lot of points this year in critical situations. And the last thing I want to be talking about on Saturday night is the officiating. Do not want to talk about it. Anytime you talk about the officiating, at least in long form, is when it's an unfortunate outcome that we, again, don't want to see. The other thing that is going to be important is a couple big plays. Not going to happen a ton. Joe Burrow can be patient, and this could be a Joe Mixon game. But once in the first half, maybe once at the start of the third quarter, you need a big play. And it might be a Chase run and catch. It might be a Higgins deep shot. And that's why you're hoping that Gus Bradley does what he usually does, and you can get some one-on-one situations on the outside. Because if you give Isaiah Prince help or Jonah Williams help to hold up against those edge rushers, the Bengals should have enough time, should be able to give Burrow enough time to get the ball downfield, give that extra half second or so that's needed. So I think you could tell by what I've said this week. I'm leaning Bengals in this one. I'm going to pick the Bengals in this one, 24-13. I think they end the playoff drought. I think they break the curse of Bo Jackson, if that's what you believe in, or whatever the case is. I just do. I think they're a better team. I think they're healthy. I think they have the better quarterback. They're at home against a team that they already beat with a quarterback that should be better this time around than the last time. So when you put all that together, I think it's going to be a fun, historic night at Paul Brown Stadium. And if you feel the same way, make sure you go to mybookie.ag right now. Sign up, use promo code BengalsTalk, and you're going to get a 100% deposit bonus. So if you deposit $50, you're going to get a bonus $50. If you deposit $500, you'll get a bonus $500 with promo code BengalsTalk. It's free money. You could take that and apply it to the Bengals. They're 4.5-point favorites last time I checked. Maybe you think they're going to win but not cover. You could go Bengals money line. No problem there at all. Maybe you think they're going to win the AFC. You can pick them to do that, pick them to win the Super Bowl. And it's not just NFL. You can also wager on the NBA. You can wager on maybe Marvin Lewis getting a head coaching job if you want to do that with all of these coaching openings. 8 jobs are open right now. 8. That is just wild. 25% of the NFL looking for new head coaches right now. The Bengals aren't one of them because Zach Taylor has his team in the postseason. Will they get it done? I think they do, 24-13. It's not going to be the most pretty game. I think there will be some times of doubt, of frustration. But when you have number 9 under center, when you have the talent that this team has, I think they have enough to get past the Las Vegas Raiders and survive in advance, as they say. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are going to be covered. We're going to be at the game, of course. We're going to be at every playoff game for as long as the Bengals are in the postseason. And so it doesn't matter how far they go. We will be at every single one, guaranteed 100%. So subscribe. And for our editor, Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien. We will talk to you on game day. Again, my prediction, 24-13, the Bengals get it done. Thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.